Hey everyone, and welcome back. You know that feeling when you're like overwhelmed with information, but you're still craving knowledge? Like you just want to cut to the chase.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So today, we're going to dive deep into Brian Tracy's No Excuses.
Okay.
We're going to try to pull out the most potent principles for success through self-discipline.
Sounds good.
You know, those surprising facts and, the actionable takeaways that can actually make a difference in your life.
Absolute.
So No Excuses really tackles a problem I think we all face.
Yeah.
We set these goals, we dream big, and then we kind of get stuck
Mhm.
on what Tracy calls someday I'll.
Oh, someday I'll, right?
It's that land of procrastination and excuses.
Yeah, where our good intentions go to die.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a graveyard of good intentions. Someday I'll.
Yeah.
I feel like I book a few trips there myself.
Me too. Probably all of us have.
But Tracy's analogy is really good.
Yeah.
He says that the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
It's so true.
He doesn't just point out the problem, though.
Right?
He introduces us to this really interesting guy, Koppmeyer,
Hook.
who's like a legend in the field of success.
Interesting.
Koppmeyer wrote 4 books each with 250 success principles.
Wow.
But you know what he considered like the most crucial element?
What's that?
Self-discipline.
Yeah, makes sense.
It was the bedrock upon which all those other principles stood.
Right. Without it, the rest kind of falls apart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Because Tracy goes beyond just willpower. He defines self-discipline as self-mastery, self-control, even self-denial.
Right. Choosing the harder path.
Exactly. It's about delaying gratification.
Yeah.
It's about choosing that long-term fulfillment over those tempting, fleeting pleasures.
Like that instant gratification that we all crave.
Yeah, totally. And that reminds me of Dr. Edward Banfield's research.
Okay.
He spent like 50 years studying success
Wow.
and found that the biggest predictor was something he called long-time perspective. How far ahead you think when you're making decisions.
That's a good question.
So that long-term vision is a key indicator of your potential for success.
I like that.
So we've kind of established self-discipline as the foundation.
Right, the bedrock.
But how do we actually build it?
Yeah, that's the big question.
Tracy tells this story about a dentist
Okay.
who learns this revolutionary technique in Hong Kong.
Oh, wow.
And this single technique completely transformed his career.
Really?
And get this, he's able to retire comfortably at 55.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And that story, I think, illustrates the importance of continuous learning.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
doesn't matter what you do.
Right.
There's always someone who has mastered an element of your field that you can learn from.
Find those experts.
Exactly. And Tracy suggests just dedicating 60 minutes each day to reading in your field.
Okay.
Think about the compounding effect of consistently absorbing that knowledge.
Yeah, over time, it really adds up.
I mean, imagine how that applies to your own aspirations. Even if early retirement isn't your goal,
Right.
imagine devoting an hour a day to truly mastering your craft.
It could be life-changing.
Totally. Okay, so get ready for this.
Okay.
Because Tracy introduces this concept called the 1000% formula.
The 1000% formula.
It's a 7-step system to skyrocket your productivity and income
Wow.
to extraordinary levels.
I'm intrigued.
The power is in the compounding effect of small, consistent improvements.
Okay.
Just think about waking up 2 hours earlier each day
Okay.
and taking time to rewrite your goals every single day.
Sounds simple enough.
Yeah, it sounds simple, but visualize the ripple effect of those habits over time.
Right. It's about consistency.
And Tracy shares this incredible story about a seminar participant
Okay.
who went from earning $20,000 a year to over $1 million
$1 million.
using these principles.
That's amazing.
I know, right? He applied the 3% investment rule,
The 3% investment rule.
consistently putting 3% of his income back into his personal and professional development. Eventually, he increased that to 10%,
Okay.
and the results were astounding.
Wow.
So we've talked about mindset and strategy,
Right.
but what about the emotional side?
Yeah.
We all have fears that hold us back.
Definitely.
And Tracy quotes Mark Twain saying, "Courage is control of fear."
I like that quote.
It's not about the absence of fear,
Right.
but mastering it.
Yeah.
And he provides these really practical tools for doing just that.
Okay, like what?
Affirmation, visualization,
Okay.
even acting as if you've already conquered the fear.
Interesting.
He tells this powerful story about a woman
Okay.
who finally finds the courage to confront her bullying boss.
Good for her.
It highlights the power of recognizing fear, but choosing not to let it control you.
That takes a lot of strength.
It does. Think about your own fears for a moment.
Okay.
What are those bold actions you've been putting off because of fear?
That's a good question to ask yourself.
Because Tracy reminds us that conquering fear often happens one step at a time, building that courage muscle with each small victory.
You don't have to do it all at once.
Exactly. And this connects directly to another crucial principle, persistence.
Persistence, right?
Disraeli wisely said, "Beware of endeavoring to become a great man in a hurry."
I like that.
Success is a marathon, not a sprint.
Definitely.
And self-discipline and persistence become the fuel that keeps you moving forward,
Yeah, it keeps you going.
even when you face those inevitable setbacks.
Everyone faces setbacks.
And speaking of setbacks,
Yeah.
Tracy shares this gripping story about the 100 call method,
100 call method.
where a salesperson endures rejection after rejection
Oh, wow.
before achieving incredible success.
It's about pushing through.
Exactly, and it highlights that persistence is often tested most during those difficult times.
That makes sense.
It's how you bounce back that defines your journey.
Yeah, your resilience.
And what's interesting is how Tracy links persistence to self-esteem.
Okay.
He argues that the more you persist,
Yeah.
the more you prove to yourself that you can handle challenges.
Right. You build that confidence.
Exactly. This builds confidence and a belief in your own abilities.
Like a positive feedback loop. Oh.
Yeah, it's like that saying, nothing succeeds like success.
Right.
Each time you push through and achieve something,
Yeah.
you reinforce that positive self-image.
I like that.
But Tracy doesn't just focus on those external victories.
Oh, okay.
He delves into the importance of inner strength,
Right.
dedicating a whole chapter to the power of character.
Interesting.
He even quotes Henry Ward Beecher, who said,
Okay.
"Hold yourself responsible for a higher standard than anyone else expects of you. Never excuse yourself."
Powerful words.
Powerful stuff, right?
Yeah.
And he's not talking about some lofty moral code,
Okay.
but practical things like taking responsibility for your actions,
Right.
being honest in your dealings, and keeping your promises.
Okay.
He even stresses the importance of accepting responsibility for your life.
Regardless of circumstances.
Yeah. Regardless of your circumstances.
That's important.
It's about shifting from a victim mentality to a creator mentality.
I like that.
No more blaming others or making excuses.
Taking ownership.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that you have the power to change your situation.
Yeah. Even if it takes time.
Yeah, even if it takes time. And it's about focusing on what you can control,
Right.
your thoughts, your actions, and your responses to challenges.
That's a good point.
And Tracy even applies this mindset to finances.
Okay. How so?
He argues that financial success is often less about luck
Yeah.
and more about developing financial discipline.
That makes sense.
He breaks it down really clearly,
Okay.
emphasizing the importance of living below your means,
Right.
saving consistently, or investing wisely.
Makes sense.
He even suggests setting a goal to become financially independent,
Okay.
where your passive income covers your expenses
Right.
without needing to work.
Wow. That's the dream.
It's about taking control of your money instead of letting it control you.
Absolutely.
What's fascinating is how he connects financial discipline to other areas of life.
Yeah.
The same principles that build wealth can also build a successful business,
And interesting.
a fulfilling career, and a happy family life.
It's all connected.
It's all about having that self-control
Mm-hmm.
to delay gratification,
Right.
make smart choices,
Yeah.
and stay focused on your long-term goals.
So it all ties back to developing that success mindset.
Exactly.
It's not just about achieving a specific outcome,
Right.
but cultivating those core traits that empower you to succeed in any area.
Yeah, and Tracy's clear that this requires effort.
Yeah.
He's all about rolling up your sleeves and putting in the work.
It's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be easy, but it's definitely worth it.
I agree with that. He dedicates a whole chapter to the importance of hard work.
Oh, yeah. That hurt.
Quoting Vince Lombardi,
Okay.
he says, "Leaders aren't born, they are made. And they are made, just like anything else, through hard work." It's a good reminder that success rarely falls into your lap.
Right.
You have to earn it.
You got to put in the work.
Exactly.
He's not just talking about working hard, though.
Right.
He emphasizes working smart.
Okay.
That means focusing on those high-value tasks that really move the needle
Right.
towards your goals.
So it's about being strategic.
Exactly. And he also talks about developing a sense of urgency,
Okay.
moving quickly and decisively
Mm-hmm.
when opportunity knocks.
You're ready.
You're ready to seize it.
And it's interesting how he ties hard work to leadership.
Okay.
He argues that a Key quality of effective leaders is setting an example
Right.
through their own work ethic.
Leading from the front,
Exactly. Not just barking orders.
not just sitting back.
Right.
It reminds me of that saying, actions speak louder than words.
Totally. People can tell when you're truly committed.
Yeah, and that can be really inspiring to those around you.
Absolutely.
Of course, leadership isn't just about working hard. It's about working with people. Tracy gets into the importance of building strong relationships,
Okay.
inspiring others,
Mm-hmm.
creating a positive work environment.
Right. It's about fostering that sense of community.
Exactly. And he highlights that a leader's role is to empower others,
To do their best work.
to do their best work,
Yeah.
creating an environment where people feel valued,
Right.
respected,
Mm-hmm.
and motivated to contribute.
And Tracy even suggests this question you can ask yourself.
Oh, okay.
What kind of company would this be if everyone in it were just like me?
Wow.
It's a powerful prompt for self-reflection and growth.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I love that.
It's a good one to sit with.
Yeah, and reminds us that leadership isn't about a title.
Right.
It's about the positive impact you have
Yeah.
on those around you.
Exactly.
And speaking of impact,
Yeah.
Tracy dives into another critical aspect of business success: sales.
Sales. Okay.
He makes a bold statement. The most important element in business success is selling. No matter what product or service you offer,
Right.
if you can't sell it,
Yeah.
you're not going to be in business for long.
You got to move that product.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is how he connects sales back to self-discipline.
Okay.
He argues that successful salespeople are highly disciplined in their approach.
Right. They have a system.
They have a system, they're organized, they plan their days,
Yeah.
they follow up consistently,
Okay.
and they're always learning
Right.
and improving their skills.
So they're constantly growing.
He even shares this incredible story
Okay.
about a guy named Bob Barton
Barton.
who completely transformed his sales career
Oh, wow.
by modeling himself after the top performers in his company.
That's smart.
So Bob started at the bottom,
Okay.
hanging out with junior salespeople who were more interested in gossiping than selling.
Not a good sign.
But then he made a conscious decision
Okay.
to change his habits.
Good for him.
He started dressing like the top salespeople, coming in early to plan his day,
Okay.
and actively seeking advice
Mm-hmm.
and resources from those who were already crushing it.
So surrounding himself with success.
Exactly. And what's remarkable is that within 6 months,
Yeah.
Bob became one of the top salespeople in the office.
Wow. That's amazing.
He completely changed his trajectory
Just by changing his habits.
by adopting those disciplines of those who were already successful.
That's powerful.
It's a powerful testament to the impact of modeling,
Right.
finding those who are already achieving what you want,
Yeah.
and learning from their example.
Absolutely.
But Tracy doesn't just focus on that tactical side of sales.
Okay.
He also delves into the importance of building rapport,
Right. Connecting with people.
understanding customer needs,
Yeah.
and providing excellent service.
Making them feel valued.
Exactly. He emphasizes that selling isn't about manipulating people.
Right.
It's about helping them
Solve their problem.
solve their problems,
Yeah.
achieve their goals.
Yeah. So it's about building those genuine relationships.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's about building relationships based on trust
Right.
and mutual benefit.
Creating win-win situations.
Exactly, where both the seller and the buyer
Yeah.
feel good
Yeah.
about the transaction.
Absolutely.
And that kind of circles back to the importance of character, doesn't it?
It does.
People can sense when you're genuine,
Yeah.
when you're truly interested in helping them.
It's that authenticity.
Exactly, and it builds those lasting relationships
Right.
and repeat business.
That's what you want.
And what's fascinating is how Tracy connects sales success to courage.
Okay. How so?
He argues that it takes courage to put yourself out there
Right.
to face rejection
Yeah. It's tough.
and to keep going even when things get tough.
It's about resilience.
Exactly. And he reminds us that courage is not the absence of fear.
Yeah.
It's the control of fear.
I love that.
He even introduces a practical technique
Okay. What's that?
called the 100 call method.
The 100 call method.
It's a challenge to push through that fear
Okay.
and make 100 sales calls
Wow.
as quickly as possible,
Okay.
regardless of the outcome.
So it's just about getting it done.
It's about facing that fear head on.
Okay.
You desensitize yourself to rejection,
Right.
and you build resilience.
You toughen up.
Exactly. And it's a great example of how self-discipline can help you overcome
Yeah.
those emotional barriers
Yeah.
that often hold us back.
Right. We get in our own way.
We get in our own way.
Speaking of goals,
Yes, goals.
Tracy dedicates a whole chapter to the importance of setting clear, specific goals
Okay,
and then developing a plan to achieve them.
that makes sense.
He even suggests writing down your goals every single day
Oh, yeah.
as a way to keep them top of mind.
Keep them front and center.
Exactly, and
No,
stay focused.
He's a big believer in that whole psychoneuromotor activity thing, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, the idea that the physical act of writing helps
Yeah.
to imprint it on your subconscious mind.
He even shares a statistic
Yeah.
that people who write down their goals are 11 times more likely to achieve them
Wow, that's significant.
than those who don't.
It's a simple thing, but it makes a big difference.
It's a simple but powerful technique.
Absolutely. And Tracy emphasizes the importance of setting deadlines for those goals,
Okay.
breaking them down into smaller steps, and then taking consistent action every single day.
Chunking it down.
Exactly.
Mhm.
He even suggests an exercise called the 10-goal exercise,
The 10-goal exercise.
where you write down 10 goals you want to achieve in the next year,
Okay.
and then you choose the one goal that would have the biggest impact on your life.
If you were to achieve it,
Exactly.
it's a good way to prioritize.
Right.
Focus your energy.
And then he goes even deeper,
Okay.
suggesting that you write out 20 answers to this question.
Oh, wow. Okay.
How can I achieve this goal?
It's interesting.
It's about activating that creativity,
Right.
brainstorming as many solutions as possible. And what's fascinating is how he connects goal setting to long-term thinking.
Okay.
He encourages us to think about the kind of person we want to become,
Right.
the legacy we want to leave behind.
Yeah, that's important.
He reminds us that success is not an accident,
Right.
but failure is not an accident either.
We create our own
We create our own destinies
destinies, yeah.
through our choices and actions.
And he challenges us to think about what we're willing to sacrifice in the short term
Right.
to achieve those long-term goals.
It's about that delayed gratification,
Exactly.
saying no to those instant pleasures.
Yeah, that might derail us
That could throw us off track.
from our bigger ambitions.
Exactly. And it's about remembering that the journey is just as important as the destination.
Yeah.
The process of striving towards our goals, overcoming obstacles, and developing our character.
Right.
That's what brings true fulfillment.
So what does all of this mean, like, for the listener? You know,
Yeah.
if we kind of like boil down the essence of Brian Tracy's no excuses, what are those key takeaways that can help them unlock their full potential?
I think it comes down to this.
Okay.
Self-discipline is the foundation for achieving any goal.
It's the bedrock.
It is, and it's not about perfection.
Right.
It's about consistently making small choices each day
Yeah.
that move you closer to the person you want to become.
It's those little steps.
It's those little steps, and it's also about having the courage to face your fears,
Right.
to persist through challenges and never give up on your dreams.
Never give up.
Never give up. And Tracy leaves us with this thought-provoking question.
Okay.
If success were guaranteed, what bold step would you take today that you've been putting off?
That's a good one.
It's a powerful question to consider.
Yeah.
Often the only thing holding us back is ourselves.
Our own fears.
Exactly. So take some time to reflect on that question.
Yeah.
And then choose to take action.
Action, yeah.
Even a small step in the right direction can make a world of difference.
Small steps lead to big changes. So start small, stay consistent, and watch as self-discipline unlocks those incredible possibilities in your life.
Absolutely.
That wraps up our deep dive into Brian Tracy's No Excuses.
It was a good one.
We hope you gained some valuable insights to help you on your journey to success.
Yeah.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep pushing yourself to become the best version of yourself.
See you next time.